Greetings and welcome to a new Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. Today we are taking a look at the new cards from Universe 6 that were just released over in Japan. Even though they're not officially translated, we have enough information thanks to DBZ space here in order to take a look at them and see what they have. And to be honest, I just looked at all of them, and we now have two new lead nukers, well not lead, actual nuker cards that are the most powerful in the game. So let's take a look at them. First, we have here Super Saiyajin God, Super Saiyan Goku. I'm not really sure why they're not calling it Super Saiyan Blue like they did in the anime. But anyway, first off, his leader ability, attack and defense 50% up of body attributes. I am going to interpret it is of the same attribute as him, so physical in this case, when its HP is 30% or more. That is actually pretty powerful, especially considering HP is being abused a lot during the World Tournament to make sure you stay alive and to troll other people that rely on team killers. But that's not the important part. His super attack, God Kamehameha, give double extra large, that means supreme, extra large damage to the other party. So pretty standard so far. However, what is important here is his passive. This translates into attack plus 15% for every physical key sphere picked up. Now, if you have any idea what that means, it means that these guys now have the highest possible attack out of any nuker in the game. This used to be, the title used to belong to Transcendent Ultra Rare Cell Perfect Form, which got 12%, which I'm also showing you over there on the side to compare. Now, their attack is slightly lower than Cell's, however, considering they get an extra 3% attack for every key sphere they gather, well, for every one of his physical key spheres he gathers, that makes him the most powerful nuker in the game, along with somebody else. Now, links, we have Super Saiyan Standard God Warrior, not bad considering the attack up. Then the third one is Kamehameha, so he can link him with somebody else. Fierce Ultra God Fierce Battle, I'm not sure if that one exists so far, but a 50% extra attack up, so you can boost his attack up even more. Resurrection of F, 700 attack up, and Prepared for War, that is key plus 2. So in terms of key, he only has one key link. So if you wanted to say guarantee his nuking ability, it would be particularly hard considering he only has one link that gives him key. But if you're going to use him as a nuker, you're going to transform the entire field into physical, so it's really not that important. Now onto the other one, we have Super Saiyajin God Super Saiyan Vegeta. Now, he is extremely similar to Goku that we just saw, attacking defense 50% up of skill attributes on HP of 30 more. This is basically the same thing, so instead of physical, it is tech. And he also does supreme damage to the enemy. And then we also have the exact same passive except for tech spheres, as you can see. Attack plus 50% up for every tech sphere gathered. His attack is much lower, and at only 7,494, but considering the percentage up he is going to get from every tech key sphere, this makes him better than Cell, which had stood at the top of the nuking list for a long time. Now, links, probably the exact same ones. Super Saiyan God Warrior, this one which does attack 700 up, Ultra God Fierce Battle 50%, so yeah, pretty much. Let's see, who is this link? That is Genius. Okay, so he has Genius and Goku has Kamehameha. So in that sense, I'm guessing Goku's can be better. But anyway, yeah, these two guys are now the two best nukers in the game. So if you don't have any of the current nukers, as in Cell, let's see, who else is it? I can't remember who they are, but anyway, these are now your target nuker cards. But we are not done yet. We also have who is it? Cable or Cable or however you want to pronounce his name. He is finally here. Now, a friend who actually has an account over in Japan tells me that he is actually farmable, which means that you can actually get his super attack up to level 10. So let's take a look at him. Leader skill, HP of tech attributes, attack and defense 20% up. Decent, about pretty much standard for regular cards. He gives a huge damage to the other person. Then passive ability, attack 40% up during the super attack, I believe that's what it translates to. Then we have Saiyan Warrior Race, Saiyan Lineage, Courage, I'm not really sure what that one is, but, and 6 Universe Warrior. So You will normally give him an extra +2 key out of, well, maybe only one out of Cyan lineage. But as you can see, he does have a Dokkan Awakening into his other version. And his other version is actually even more decent. HP of skill attributes and attack defense up, so it goes from 20 to 30. Still not a leader you want to put in front, but you can. Oversized damage, I believe he goes all the way up to extreme, which is definitely nice considering a lot of cards don't even change that when they get Dokkan Awakened. Then his passive skill goes up to attack 50% up during the super attack. So very nice damage during the super attack. And then he also gains Golden Warrior, which is definitely nice. Cyan Warrior Race, Super Saiyan, Cyan Lineage, Cyan Pride. Yep, pretty much. He goes around. He shares that link with Team Bardock and the regular Int King Vegeta and the Super Strike Vegeta. So an interesting link there. And 6th Universe Warrior, which gives him Key +2. Unfortunately, 6th Universe Warrior, the only cards that have it are the 6 cards there. And out of those, only 2 are ultra rare, so you may not be relying on that to provide him with Key. But so far, a very decent card. At least we actually have a new Saiyan in the mix now. Even if he only has 7,000 attack. Although his defense is at 4,000, which is definitely a nice sweet spot to hit. And his extra attack during super attack is definitely going to make him hit harder than he should. And lastly, we have a character that many of us were thinking how they were going to implement him, but we finally have Hit, the strongest person of 6th universe, basically. Now, his leader skill, attack 20% down for the enemy. That is actually pretty substantial, considering that if you match him up with other characters that reduce attack for specific elements, like say Vito that reduces agility attack by 25%, it can actually stack up to quite a bit, and then combining that with the support items, you can reduce their attack to basically nothing. Now, super attack. Give double extra large damage, this is supreme damage, and rare chance to stun. So far, so standard. However, his passive ability. Stun the enemy who attacked with high probability, so basically high chance to stun the enemy you attacked. Now, this may or may not apply to the super attack as well, because a Whis already has this ability, and I think it doesn't apply to his super attack, but I'm not particularly sure. But anyway, so his passive is, he's just another stunner. Unfortunately, we didn't get anything pretty fun or anything, which is sad. However, so let's see, link skills. Supreme Warrior. He shares this link with literally, this is a little bit sad, but this link is only shared with Master Roshi, Jackie Chun, Mega Tao, and some rare cards. So yeah, you're never going to be getting the bonus from this. Veteran Warrior, 10% up. This is shared with some other cards, which is interesting. We also have a new Piccolo that I'm also going to take a look at. And let's see anything else. Like he shares it with with Paiku Hom, which is interesting. A few Gokus and a few other Piccolos, so you might get that one. Cold Judgment, attack 300% up, very pathetic, but you can proc that with quite a bit of people. Infighter, enemy defense plus 5% down. You can actually get the skill on a lot of people, so that one can actually be useful. And again, 6th Universe Warrior, Key +2. Kinda sad, really. Considering he is the strongest warrior in all of the 6th Universe, we were expecting a little bit more, although basically being a almost guaranteed stunner might make him useful, especially in a stun team, considering he is also intellect, so if you pair him up with Blue, Bulma, Babidi, and this guy, you now have a team of 4 high stunners in, yeah. You might be able to beat some Dokkan events with him. However, we are not done. Lastly, where are you? Where did I open you? Here you are. We have a brand new Piccolo from that very same arc. So let's take a look at him. He is also ultra rare, which is a little bit rare for him actually. So first, leader skill. HP and defense plus 60% up for intellect type. So a very solid leader skill for intellect, which is nice. Now super attack. I have no idea what that translates to, but supreme damage to the other party. I think this is the only Piccolo so far that deals supreme damage. I'm actually surprised by that. But let's take a look at his passive. Let's see. HP 80% below, attack plus 60% up when his HP is 80% or below. So he has the same passive as Future Gohan. So that means he can actually hit very, very hard, especially considering he deals supreme damage. So not a bad Piccolo. Now let's see, what skills does he have? He has Genius, which is the very first one. So you can pair him up with a lot of other people. Veteran Warrior, Namekian Regeneration basically. So if you pair him up with some other people, he... Gaze of Respect, he only shares this with three other Piccolos and 3 other Gohans. So not that useful, although it does give Key +2. And I believe this is Brain Skull. What is this? I think this is Brainiacs that is translated into Global. Attack 300 and defense up to 1000. So out of his links, really only Gaze of Respect and Veteran Warrior are pretty much worth it. Wow, look at that defense. 5,000 defense right there. That is very, very nice, actually. I think he's one of the few cards that go over the 4,000-ish mark in defense. Not counting Metal Rarelo, whose passive is ridiculous. But anyway, yeah, these are all of the brand new cards from Universe 6. Well, not all of them. These are all the worthwhile cards, actually. So, without that, let's take a look at the rest of the Universe 6 cards, which aren't really as astonishing, if we're completely honest. We have 3 cards left to look at, so let's take a look at them relatively quickly. First, we have, what was this ID? Botamo? So, super rare. So, a super rare that transforms into a super rare. 50% reduced damage from the enemy, not that amazing. His super attack is just huge damage and reduces defense. And his passive is the same as Veku's, which is high chance to reduce damage by 50%. So, not only that, his defense isn't particularly high, so I'm not really sure why anybody would use him outside of a Universe 6 team. He has Tough as Nails, Infighter, Cold Judgment, and 6 Universe Warrior. So really not that impressive. Then we have, what's his name? Magetta? Or something like that? But anyway, attack 20% down enemy of the strength attribute? No, body, so that would be physical, I think. So a specific type of enemy attack 20% down. So if you're up against that one enemy stronger than hit here, super attack, volcano explosion, large damage to the other party and reduces attack. So that's larger damage to one target and reduces attack, so standard there. And passive, all enemies are, so when facing more than two or more enemies, attack plus 40%. That's an interesting passive considering it was a one-on-one tournament during the anime. Then we have Tough as Nails, more than meets the eye. Wait, Berserker? Really? When HP is 50% or below, attack 20% up. That is an interesting skill to give him. Interesting. And 6 Universe Warrior, so an interesting card. And lastly, we have Frost Final Form. Leader Skill. Energy of Agility and Intellectual Attributes plus 2 keys. So he has a very decent leader skill if you don't have nothing better. Super Attack, Chaos Ball. Oversized, I believe that is extreme damage, so decent damage multiplier there. Passive skill, Stinger, attack 25% down to enemy that attacked. Now, I'm not sure there, but that means that an enemy you attack will have its attack reduced by 25%. That's what I'm going to interpret from it, and it makes sense considering the anime, so an interesting leader skill, nobody else has something similar to that. So it might be useful in a reduced attack team. Then we have the universe's most malevolent, which he shares with all the other freezers. With literally only the other freezers. Interesting. Then we have, what is this? Makeover. Oh, infinite regeneration, I think is what it's out. It's recover 55% up. Then we have, what is this? Brutality? I'm not really sure what that one is. He shares that with his brothers, Majin Buu. Not really sure on that one. Might be Bombardment. Then we have Coward and 6 Universe. So when it comes to a card, he is definitely one of the better lower rank cards. Not as powerful as Goku or Vegeta. But yeah, he is still decent. So yeah, those are all the characters from 6 Universe. So outside of that, let's take a look and think about it. So outside of these new cards, Goku and Vegeta obviously awesome. We have 2 new nukers that are now the most powerful nukers in the game because of their 50% raised attack per every key sphere that they grab of their own type. Not particularly hard to do. And considering that in Japan there are now nuker leaders for every element, it is definitely something you want to consider if you have those. And then the hit, for me, he is a bit disappointing. He is interesting, and he definitely sticks to the anime very well, and having supreme damage is definitely nice. I wasn't expecting him to be a stunner, honestly, but makes sense. But other than that, I was expecting something maybe better. However, we might pick a better hit in the future, I'm kind of hoping. And let's see, Kabul is definitely a nice card, considering that if my friend is correct and that you can farm him up to Super Attack level 10 and then awaken him to his Super Saiyan form, he is definitely someone, there's no reason not to level him up and use him in a Super Saiyan team. And Piccolo, I was not expecting him to have supreme damage. That was definitely a very nice surprise. His 60% defense and HP up for intellect types is definitely a nice leader skill. Not the best, but definitely worthwhile considering. And when his HP is 80% or below, attack 60% up, definitely nice. That means he can definitely deal very decent damage. So yeah, those are the new cards that just came out in Japan. Some of these cards are definitely worth considering, especially Goku and Vegeta. Kabul is definitely interesting and a nice addition to the Saiyan team. Piccolo and everybody else, and hits, eh. But anyway, thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.